Hey everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm here to do a week ahead reading for the week coming up, which is, should double check this, 14th to 21st-ish? I don't know. The last full week before Christmas, I guess, because we're now 13 days away from Christmas, if you celebrate that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's my second video reading on YouTube, and thank you so much to anybody who watched, and especially the people who left comments last week. You made me feel really awesome and confident, and thank you. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to be using the Bone Stone and Earthflesh Tarot by Avalon Cameron with artwork by Anna Turian. I'm sorry, it's not in print right now. Sorry, I just really wanted to use it. So I'm going to. So this is sorry. It's a thick deck, so it's a tough shuffler, which is why I keep banging it on the desk to straighten it out after I shuffle. So I think maybe what I'll do is I'll shuffle around a bit. I get some jumpers, but they're often in big clumps. So I think I'll shuffle and then cut, and then just take the top card from each of my cuts, and then draw more cards as necessary. Because why the heck not? If you are interested, I can put a link to Avalon Cameron's Etsy page where she does readings herself, and also to Anna Turian's website. Although this deck is out of print, she is doing a tarot deck of her own. So if you look at these cards and you're really into the images, then you can pursue that as well. She also has a beautiful oracle, which I didn't think to get out. I wasn't thinking I'd do an oracle card today. We'll see how I feel. Maybe I'll try and dig it out of my shelf behind me. Oh my god, so many jumpers, but it's like 50. So I don't think there's so much jumpers as me being a clumsy shuffler. This is a tough deck to shuffle, mind you. There's a cat behind my laptop. So we'll see how this goes. You guys are used to that, right? All right, so I'm thinking about what energy do we need? What's coming up in the week? What do I want to be mindful of as we come to the darkest day in what for many has been a very dark year, spiritually, metaphorically, literally. Okay. Okay, so I drew the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups. Try and get it in there without a glare. And the Seven of Swords in reverse, sorry. And because this is an out of print deck, I'm just going to show you the Seven of Swords upright, just so you get a sense of it. Just because not too many people actually have this deck yet. I'm very hopeful it will go to mass market. I know some people who, I don't care if I have an out of print deck or not. Like, it's fun to find one when it is out of print, but I want everybody to have the deck they want. So that's the Seven of Swords upright, but ours was reversed. Okay. So when I look at these cards together, I don't know if I can hold them up all together. Oops, and that's out of order. I actually really feel good about this. I can't do it. Sorry, I'm not versed enough yet. This is the first one. So the Ace of Swords, so the aces are new beginnings, of course, and some new energy. And sword, of course, is the element of air and this idea of intellect. I'm pretty drawn to the idea that there's a pen depicted here, a feather quill depicted here. And the card moves, if you go from the bottom, the quill of the pen, it's darker and shaded, and then up into this sort of bright light with the tip of the feather waving. So I see this as like a new intellectual pursuit, but with an element of creativity there. So I know that wands are sort of passion and creativity, but I mean, it's probably, I've talked many times about how you bring to a reading what you have, but to me, the pen is one of the most ultimate sources of creative thought. I'm constantly humbled by the fact when I read and when I teach literature and poetry that the magic that can be woven with just 26 little letters in the English alphabet. And I'm only speaking about the English alphabet because that is the only alphabet in which I am fluent. But this idea of this new spark in the mind, and that it might be some sort of creative pursuit this week. So to take into account what that might be, and don't discount it, even if it's just a little spark, even if it's just something new, that maybe this is a good time to act on that idea, to nurture that creative thought. Even if you don't get to the point where you're putting the pen to paper, this is a disembodied pen. And again, I think pen is metaphorical for anything that you might want to begin and pursue. But to nurture it and to let it grow there, to let it steep and to start to work it out. And this was followed by the Knight of Cups here, coming out of the water. And how interesting that the Knight of Cups also has a sword, which is associated with the Ace of Swords in this particular depiction. Now, I think, knights often have, sorry, the cat is playing with my crystals that I put out for this reading. Thank you. I can't do anything. My life is constantly inundated. It's not even the cat that interrupted my video yesterday. It's a different cat. Anyway, back to this. So I love this idea of the sword. Now, it's not unusual for a knight to have a sword, although it is sort of unusual to have a sort of a mermaid-esque knight. It's a really interesting interpretation of this particular deck. But there's someone who's going to nurture this in you this week. And you can depend on them to nurture and sort of maybe even pave the way for you. I mean, that's what the knights do, right? They're action cards, and they go out and they do the thing, right? And this Knight of Swords is if you want to look at your romantic partner, it may be because this is emotional, but also just someone who's really got your back, a best friend, someone who can be that emotional rock for you, is going to help you take this and is going to maybe even help you carry that idea forward a little bit. Talk to them about it and see what maybe it could be. And then again, so interestingly, at the end of the reading, I'll show it up right again, just so we've got it here. The Seven of Swords, and then reverse. So this is like a sneaky card. Someone's looking to undermine you, but here it's reversed. And it's funny, I don't usually read reversals. But immediately I knew I wanted to leave this reversed because look what they have in, whoops, just look while I drop it. Look at what they have in their hand. It's a scroll. There's this very specific connection between these two cards. And in its reversed position, to me, that's just reinforcing that you can trust your Knight of Cups with this idea, this new creative thought-based pursuit that you're going to take. Maybe this is a spiritual thought-based pursuit. Perhaps people in your life aren't, particularly jazzed about you following this particular route through tarot or divination, that kind of thing. Maybe you're worried that someone's going to say, I don't think that's a good idea. Or, in this economy, you have this particular idea. Are you sure it's not going to work? But this particular reading says to me that, no, that the people around you, or could be one person, but whoever you decide to share your Ace of Swords idea with, your intellect, your thought, is there and has your back, and you can trust with this idea. And they'll give you the truth, It is still a swords card, but they're not going to steal your thunder or take away that sort of flame, and they're not going to undermine it in any way. So that is some great news. And I actually feel really content with those 3 cards. I was going to maybe draw some more, but I don't think I will. I think that's the 3 of them work together beautifully, and that's what we're going to go with for the week. Can I show them all? There we go. So, my lovelies, run with that sword idea. If this speaks to you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I'll be your Knight of Cups, and I will support your ideas, and I will never undermine them, and I will get in anyone's way who tries to. Have a great week.